Chairman.
Gentleman from Alaska.
We have passed this bill 11 times out of this committee. We passed it out of the Senate once. Bill Clinton vetoed it. It's 74 miles away from the existing pipeline. Infrastructure already in place. Terrain which we already know. We produce 17 billion barrels of oil. Not to take and drill in ANWR is a foolish mistake on our behalf. And all the rhetoric I hear about, the last pristine area, we're in hundreds of thousand acres, is nonsense. The gentleman has not been up there. Doesn't understand that this is truly not the area that's been proposed by the environmental community. This is an area that is, in fact, the best area in the world to drill. And we've proven we can do it in Prudhoe Bay. It's old technology. Not any big roads or big pads. We can do the same thing we did in Prudhoe Bay now in ANWR for less than 1/5 of the land mass which we disturbed in Prudhoe Bay, which still has the largest caribou herd in Alaska right now in the Arctic area, which was very small when we started. I keep hearing that we can do it later. They won't help us out now. We have an ideal situation where we have the infrastructure in place right now very close to this field which we're talking about. And it was set aside under the Alaska National Lands Act as an area to be explored and drilled. And drilled. In fact, I believe in 1987, the New York Times, that great newspaper, said we ought to drill it safely, and we can do that. Fish and Wildlife has said it should be drilled. It's just this administration and people from New Jersey and other eastern areas that they can live on imported oil that are opposed to this for false reasons. So I'm suggesting to my colleagues, let's move this legislation. Let's finally get it done. Let's have access. And I say there's 39 billion barrels of oil there. Some people say there's only 10 billion, but remember when we drilled Prudhoe Bay, they said there was only 5 billion. 17 billion barrels of oil have been produced in Prudhoe Bay. But Prudhoe Bay is running out. And my pipeline, our pipeline, your pipeline, that still provides 20% of our oil to the nation, is very frankly getting deleted to a point where it may not be functional in the near future. And that's really what the people from New Jersey and people from the environmental community wants. They want to stop the pipeline because in the law which I was the author of, the pipeline has to be pulled up if it doesn't function anymore. And that's their goal. They still believe the idea that climate change, they still believe that fossil fuels bad. They still believe we don't need any new fossil fuels, yet we'll spend $300 billion buying it from overseas. 39 billion barrels at $120 a barrel. Figure out how much that is into the people of America, the workers of America. So I suggest respectfully, Mr. Chairman, long overdue, should be passed. Let's move this legislation.